Hey everyone, it's Anna. Before we start the show, I've got a question about AI. We want to know if AI has changed a relationship in your life in some big way, and we want to know how. Maybe you and your partner kept having the same fight, so you let AI listen in as a kind of couples therapist. Maybe you discovered a friend's chat history and figured out how they were really feeling about you. Or maybe you needed to impress a girl who you couldn't believe was texting you back, so you used AI to draft up some witty responses, and then you had to meet up for a real-life date. We're interested in all types of relationships: romantic, friendship, family, work. Tell us how you've encountered AI in your personal life, how it changed a specific relationship, and what you've learned or taken away. Record a voice memo and email it to us at modernlovepodcast@nytimes.com, and we might use your story on the show. Again, that's modernlovepodcast@nytimes.com. Thanks. We can't wait to hear from you. Now here's today's episode.
Love now and
Did you fall in love last night?
Love was stronger than anything.
For the love.
And I love you more than anything.
There's still love.
From the New York Times, I'm Anna Martin. This is Modern Love. Today, we're talking about codependency. Codependency has a very bad rep these days. It's like a dirty word. We're supposed to be independent, empowered individuals, even when we're in love. Doesn't codependency mean losing yourself in a relationship? Doesn't that get unhealthy? Not if you ask today's guests, husband and wife, filmmaking duo, Mark Duplass and Katie Aselton. Mark and Katie are codependent and proud. They've been married for almost 20 years, and they've basically been inseparable since the day they met. They make movies together, they live together, they raise their kids together. Their personal and professional lives are totally intertwined, and Katie and Mark love it. They wouldn't have it any other way. Their codependency is the inspiration for a new movie they wrote, of course, together, called Magic Hour. Katie directs it and stars in it alongside Daveed Diggs. And today, Katie and Mark tell me why codependency, with all its complications, is actually a beautiful thing. And I gotta say, being in the room with those two, they are convincing. Katie Aselton and Mark Duplass, welcome to Modern Love.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you two have a new movie out. It's called Magic Hour. We are not going to spoil this movie, but I do know that the plot, the idea, came to you two when you were talking about your own relationship, right? Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, all of the movies that we've sort of collaborated on have had shades of our relationship in them. The puffy chair, the freebie, togetherness, it's like all of the stories we tell, Blue Jay, like they're all stories that have loving relationships at their core and their center. And our imagination is only so strong. We only have so many
ideas. The next movie's an alien movie.
Exactly. There are no aliens. There's no nothing. There's just us. It's just different forms of our relationship. And so, when we sat down to sort of hatch this idea, it was like, all right, so let's mine our relationship like we do. And
this was recently, right? This was
a couple years ago. And, we are now married for 100 years. We have got kids and dogs.
Well,
and
don't get too excited.
A house. But it's like, that's my point. It's like, it's boring. It's like, there's no drama. There is no conflict. And so we were like, well, I mean, we do get really sad when we're away from each other.
Yeah.
So we started touching on this idea of codependence and sort of hypothesizing like what happens when you've built your life with this person and that person goes away.
I mean, it's terrifying.
And I was like, well, worst case scenario, hon, if I die, I'm going to haunt you forever, but not in like a spooky way, not in like a, ooh, I'm going to be like making fart jokes and like laughing together and talking about mundane stuff. Like I would hope our life just keeps going. And, we started sort of talking about the space that someone that you've had such an intense loving connection with leaves in someone's life, however they may leave it. How sacred do you keep the space? And how healthy is it for you to hold the space, depending on how close you're going to hold it? And it's for us, it's like the more your ideas start snowballing as a conversation, then you're like, well, that's a movie because we can keep going.
Yeah. We're talking about codependency. You two have self-identified as codependent. What do you mean when you say codependent?
That's such a good question. I think we're throwing around this term as if we like actually know what it means, but it might just be like, I think a therapist is going to listen to this and they're going to be like, that's not codependency.
Yeah, but also it's like, I think we know it in the way that the general public knows codependency.
Sure.
And so there's a part of us that's like on this campaign to rebrand codependency, like Kale. Where
I totally know.
like Kale had such a great publicist. Like we are that for codependency.
Well.
100%.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Everything has had its moment. And now we're like, I think it's time for codependency.
Sure.
Because in our eyes, it's kind of the thing that we've all been working toward and struggling for, is this idea that you're going to find a partner that balances you, that is, you know, the fourth leg to your table, where like, could you stand with three legs? Sure. Are you more stable with a fourth? 100%. There is a codependency on this person. And
Isn't it what you wanted?
isn't it the thing that we've been striving for our whole life? Isn't it what country music like has trained us for?
Both modern and old country music. They both do it.
It's to find
Isn't
that
it what the romantic comedies we
other
watched?
half. The whole idea of the other half. And then all of a sudden, like, codependency is like bad. I think it's bad branding.
It's interesting. Okay, so you are volunteering for that role, marketing for
100%.
codependency.
I'm
We'll
here.
circle back to that. I mean, you bring up a good point that we're not talking about codependency in like a clinical way. I'm really interested
We
in
might
like,
be.
or
I'm-
maybe
I'm
you
just
are.
not sure.
You guys go to therapy? Yeah.
Should we call our therapist and get her on the line?
Well, have you had her take
We
on it?
we have the same therapist. I don't know what that means.
Is that recommended?
That's
I don't think
level
so.
1 of codependency.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's not. It's not a couples therapist. I want to be clear.
No.
It's like
We
you
have
see her
gone to her
independently.
together, but we also go to her alone.
Individually, I love having the same therapist
I think
because
it's-
they have the other side of the story. They know all the context. You can't possibly truly vilify someone that you want to talk about because they know them.
Wow.
It's so much better. But I think that like if I kind of trace it back to
Please.
the beginning of us, like we're in our late 40s now, right? And so
Speak for yourself.
yeah, yeah,
We'll
you
fact check it later. Yeah.
you are mid to late.
Mid.
You're
Let's
mid.
just say mid. I'm like, whatever.
Mid to late. And I think when we met, we were 23 and 25.
Yeah.
And there were big romantics in both of us. You know, we are built that way, but I think we also like really succumbed to the music, films, and literature that are of the romantic.
Well, talk to me about that. What does that
persuasion.
mean? What does that mean to you?
Like we read Judy Blume's Forever when we were that right age, and
And
it
we-
stuck with us.
We
And
read and took in
classic.
art to make us feel things. It wasn't like the story was, it was like, take me for that ride, break my heart. I want to feel the feelings. I want to go deep. I want to connect on a level that is like, I can't do with my peers because they don't get it.
And
You know?
this was what brought you two. Well, just tell me the story. How
I
did
think
you
that's
two
part
meet?
of what brought us together.
Yeah.
I was living in New York. I was having a very hard time in my life. You know, it was a time where I was a struggling artist. I was doubting my ability to be successful. And I went to visit my friend who was living out in Los Angeles because I was just like, it's New Year's. I don't have any friends back at home in New Orleans where I'm staying with my parents. I'm just lost. And I just need to go get around someone who has some friends and
Yeah,
not
son.
yeah, and just get in the goddamn sun. And then the next thing I know, he picks me up at the airport, and the car door opens, and there's Katie. And I'm gonna like start crying right now because it was like this fucking burst of sun, and it was like, this is my home. And I saw it in her face, which was with love, a slightly like bloated with alcohol young 20s version of Katie, you
You're
know?
saying bloated with alcohol. There are tears in your eyes.
Yes,
It's
yes.
so tender. She's bloated with alcohol.
She's
She
so
was.
puffy.
But
She was retaining water.
But I was just like, this is, I can't explain it to you that I just got hit by a bolt of fucking lightning.
It was immediate for you. Wow, I
was
can
very
really
immediate.
feel it from you. And it's so vivid. It's making you emotional now.
Pheromones. Just
Oof.
pure, just like fucking animals.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
let me
my
ask you
flip
this
side was,
Katie's like, this guy has a soul patch. What the fuck
and he
do I
did,
do?
and that was a wild thing to have to come to grips with.
Right.
You gotta invest early. You know, I was a penny
he was a
stock.
penny
Puppy
stock.
face, soul patch. You guys are balancing each other out. Wait, I do
So-
want to like split screen it, like it
Okay.
as a movie, because it sounds like that to me. So
I got in the car, and he was sitting in the front seat, and he turned around, and I was like, fuck, I'm in trouble. All of a sudden, we just locked, and we started talking over the course of that afternoon in a way that, like, I had never talked to anyone.
what were you talking about? Can you recall?
We talked about people we dated.
Mhm.
We talked about a lot of relationship, family stuff. And we just were able to like spill to each other and be really honest and vulnerable. And I was like, I've never had this conversation.
There was this energy of us kind of like leaning into something with each other that we couldn't quite define.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all surrounded by like the energy of New Year's. So it's like, well, what's this going to be?
Sure.
You know? And then we ended up at a bar later that night. And I think the defining element of the beginning of our relationship for me was, you know, we had our first kiss that night, but it wasn't at midnight. It was at like 11:30.
Well, I'm needing you guys to describe this kiss, if possible.
I'm sitting at the bar at Daddy's right near the jukebox. Daddy's is a bar in Hollywood that's no longer there. Good,
Oh, may it
good
rest
for
in peace.
good for everybody,
It was-
honestly.
Great name.
It's
the
fine.
best bar. Oh,
Jukebox is on, and there's David Bowie going, and Katie's coming out of the bathroom down a long hallway, and I catch eyes with her, and she catches eyes with me. And it's busy. It's a busy bar. Time stops for like a little bit, and she takes a nice initiative and walks slowly up to me, and I'm like, okay, she's...
I didn't like walk slowly, you guys. I think in his mind it was like in slow motion,
You
but it's not
took-
like
You
I.
guys are filmmakers,
It's not
though,
like
so
I
it's-
slowly walked to him like seductively
I'm
or
hearing
anything.
music. This is
I
a scene to
walked
me.
toward him.
It was a fucking saunter, and you know it.
Listen, I gotta sway.
Yeah. And she came up to me, and I was like, okay, she made this move, so like I have to like do some sort of
Were
expression.
you nervous?
Very nervous.
Yeah.
But also, like, I know. I can't just explain. I was like, I know. This is kind of what we're supposed to be doing right now. And she looks at me and she says, "You're cute." And I was like, even with the sideburns?
I said,
the soul
and I
patch?
blocked with 2 fingers. I blocked the soul patch. And
You actually do that?
I closed one eye. No,
No. That would have been
That would
incredible.
have been cool,
I
yeah.
just did one of these, and I was like, oh,
Oh, there it is. There it is.
For those listening, she's covering the soul patch.
Yes.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And I put my hand just like ever so lightly on your hip. And we lean in and we have this pretty long, but not like, you know, not to get too graphic, but it wasn't like sloppy
get as graphic
makeout.
as you want.
You know, it was
No.
like, it was,
It was like
It was
a
tender?
It was like
Yeah.
it was a movie kiss.
yeah. Yeah. But to dig just a little deeper into it, you know, from there, it wasn't like we're describing a lot of romanticism right now,
Yeah.
you know. Then from there, it
That
was
first year was so fucking hard.
a lot
Really?
of fear and fighting.
Yeah.
And I love you so much. This is so exciting. Oh, God,
Wait,
I'm
tell me
not.
about
much.
this, because I think that what you are painting
Is
is
it?
basically the ideal. Everyone dreams of going to this city and having a beautiful person step out of a door
Yep.
and into your life and have this mutual recognition that like, oh, it's on, you know,
Yeah.
like it's on.
The music swells and,
the
the
kiss and
montage starts.
I mean,
and-
this is,
yeah.
it's a dream. It's a dream. But
Yep.
I'm liking to be brought back down to earth a little bit. Tell me about that.
100%.
So, what happened?
Well, we're
Well-
dating long distance.
Sure,
That's
that's tough.
difficult.
That's difficult. We're young, we're ambitious. We have really big ideas of what we want and who we want to be. And where does this other person sit in that and exist in that? And do they believe in me in the same way? And how do you compromise all of these
And you're very
hopes
young.
and dreams? And we're babies.
And I would say pretty emotionally unevolved at this point in terms of like haven't gone to therapy. I haven't diagnosed the fact that I have depression and need to treat this. No, none of this has happened yet, you know?
Yeah.
So we're trying to work this out with our arms and our legs tied behind our backs.
And yet still more communicative than like any relationship I had been in before.
Yeah, still better,
which was wild.
but we're still operating at a C+, essentially. I think a lot of the fighting early on was, I think, on me because I'm so deeply smitten with Katie. I see my future there. I'm terrified that I'm not going to be able to be a healthy, successful human being. So how can I possibly be in a relationship with the probably the right person for me at a time when I'm just not there? And that created an energy that was so maddening. I mean, I'm projecting, but we've talked about this. So maddening for Katie.
Yeah.
That was just like, on Tuesday, I'm your everything. And then on Wednesday morning, you wake up and like you're terrified of this and you tell me, oh, I need to go on tour with my band because I need to figure this thing out, or I need to, write the next great American independent film.
Right.
And so that was confusing.
Tell me how that was. I mean, what was going through your mind?
It didn't feel great.
Yeah.
I come from like a really traditional family. I'm the youngest of 4. My sisters got married when they were 21 and 24.
Whoa.
And I was like 23 with this guy who like maybe loved me more than anything in the whole world, but maybe also wasn't ready for this and didn't want it day to day. And so I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm wasting my youth.
Yes.
And I will also say, like, I think that if you look at the trajectory of our relationship, the codependency was there almost from the beginning in like that was early times.
Sure.
If you ask anyone around us, a very unhealthy dynamic. Like
I was going to ask about what friends and
we
family
were
would
like
say.
addicted to each other in
yeah.
a way of like, part of it was because we were long distance, but when we were together, it was like we had to like physically be touching all the time and talking and kissing and like.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
because I have friends like that, and it's pretty annoying.
It was like we
were insufferable. Let's be honest.
It was awful, but we didn't feel it or know it or see it at the time.
Do you want to tell her about the airport?
Oh my God, I would love to know about the airport.
We were catching a flight somewhere together, and we weren't separating. It's not like we were saying goodbye. We were like just had some downtime, and we're full blown making out in one of the seats. Like
I didn't even register that we were making out. I thought we were just like hanging out.
we were like at a gate, like deep
I want
in
to be
it.
super clear. You were on the same flight.
We were traveling together.
We're
like
at the
sort of-
gate waiting to get on the
Totally,
flight.
where
But
your seats are ostensibly next to each
Yes.
other.
Next to each
so
other.
It's like
This is not
you're
in
going-
fear of separation.
Totally.
No,
So I just
this
wanted to
was
be clear
like
about that.
Yeah.
I just could not, like I wanted to inhale him at all times.
Oh.
And so I
it's
did.
both of those things, yeah.
It's gross.
No,
but someone a security guy walked up to us and he goes, "Would you kids like to find a more private area?"
That was a real moment for us.
And what did you say?
Oh my God. Oh,
And then you guys go to a bathroom and just get
and then we just
That was
had
the-
sex in a
that-
stall somewhere.
That was the first moment we realized that this could be a problem.
Stay with us. Is there a specific story that sticks out to you about a conflict that you had, probably when you were living apart?
One time at a concert, he was at an indie rock show, and I was back in LA. He was at a show here in Brooklyn, and he called me, and he was so excited because Bjork was there,
Yeah.
and like 2 people in front of him in line, and I got pissed. I was so jealous, like in a rage. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was like, what are you going to talk? Are you going to talk to her? Or you're going to talk to, you should go, you know what? You should totally go do it. Go talk to her.
Date her.
You should. And he was like, why are you crazy? Because in my mind, he was everything. And I was like, obviously she's going to fall in love with him if she meets him. Of course. Like, he's the easiest person to fall in love with. And if
Look at those sideburns.
Okay, wait, that is so sweet because I thought it's like, it wasn't even that you were jealous of her. It was more so like, I love you so much. You're so magnetic.
Yeah.
If she even gets in your presence.
If she has
Wow,
the
that's so
opportunity
sweet.
to meet you, she's going to fall in love with you. And she's Bjork. Like, you're going to fall in love with her, too. I can't sing like that. My hair isn't cool. Like, I
hair's great.
knew I wasn't her.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is terrible if you meet her. But you know what? You should just, you know what? Fine. I'm not mad. Go meet her. Good. I hope you guys are having so much fun.
Tell me how you go from this kind of whiplashy, volatile connection. I mean, now we started this conversation off by saying you're incredibly codependent, which we will circle back to.
Yeah.
How did you decide? Was there a breaking point? Was there like a...
I think that this is my
Maybe a breaking down?
This is my dime store analysis of it, is that in this sort of like swirling, whirling soup of like, we love each other so much, we can't stop fighting. Holy shit, what is this? There was a forced level of honesty that was beyond what we were emotionally prepared to share and receive. And so we grew up together creating a new language that we didn't know how to use, we didn't see our parents use. And then we would get in fights, but then we kept showing back up the next morning. And so we were revealing these awful things and awful sides about each other. And then we kept saying, I love you the next day.
But I'm still here.
And and we started to build this bedrock of, I think subconsciously, oh my God, this person is still here. And they know all of this really ugly, scary shit about me. And that to me is the seeds of what I think led to this beautiful or terrible, whatever you want to call it, codependency that we have now, which is this very firm belief that like no one will ever be able to know me or understand me and love me the way that Katie does. That's me sort of jumping far ahead into these seats now for a moment. But it was a very long road.
This ability to be so open that was really present from the beginning of your relationship. Now, how long have you been married?
It'll be 20 years in August.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Yeah, we've been together for almost 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that show up now? What are the ways that those patterns you established in the beginning are still a part of your everyday? If they are, maybe they look a little different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good question. I mean,
I don't think the patterns look different. The patterns look like, well, I just mean as far as the communication goes. Like, it is really wonderful to have a partner that you can be completely open and vulnerable and be like, hey, this is really hard for me to say out loud, but like, I'm having a really hard time with X, Y, and Z. And I feel like it's me, but I worry that you think it's you. And so like, let's talk about that. Like, those are things that like feel like accomplishments on our side, but it is because of the patterns that we establish very early on of like, I know I'm not going to scare you away. And I know I can say something without your ego coming in, or if it does come in, I know you will work on it and come back to me.
I think that's a good point because I think like, I don't want us to come across sounding like we don't still like fight basically.
And we step in shit all the time.
We do because new things are constantly coming up, and particularly we have two kids, 18 and 14,
Wow.
2 daughters.
And you work together.
And we work together and we sleep next to each other.
Rescuing dogs.
And Katie keeps rescuing these fucking dogs.
Developed this habit of rescuing dogs.
It's a real issue in our marriage. That is maybe our biggest conflict right now.
Actually, you're not the first couple I've talked to where
all
pets
of these
are
dogs.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time together.
I was going to say, are you constantly in touch? Yeah.
We spend a lot of time together. We're very sounds gross to say, but we're very like intimate. There's like a lot of like hugs.
We're just fucking off.
When I see a couple that's at the airport gate, absolutely lip lock down
we burn that out in our 20s
the
and
truth
30s.
is we're
so tired.
That's so funny.
We're not doing that at all because our bedroom is right off of the kitchen and the kids are just everywhere.
Totally.
And
walking in all the time.
But the intimacy is like, how does it show up then? If it's
we are still very affectionate and very loving, and like we do love to share meals together in the middle of the day, or like
And it's like
Go
dumb
on
shit. We
walks.
play music in the kitchen and we dance and we kiss a lot and we hold hands a lot when we walk and
Do your kids comment on that?
Yes, they do. They're sort of comfortable with it because they have
all they know.
grown up with it.
Yeah.
But then when they got out into the world and saw that other parents aren't like that, they were like, "Oh,
Yep.
Yeah,
this
for
is weird."
a long time, I think they thought everyone else was weird, and now I think they think we're weird.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Can I know, like, what do you feel like you need the other person to do? Like, what's something that you feel like you couldn't do on your own?
That's really interesting. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind when you say that is that I really believe this. I don't know that I would have made it if I had not met Katie. I think that the nature of what I was dealing with and the depths of my depression and what she brought to me in terms of the ability to bring out this goofiness that I had inside of me.
You guys are so goofy.
But
I can't believe there was ever a time where you were
dude,
not being
it
goofy.
was
He
gone.
was so
It was
cool.
gone.
He was so cool when I met him.
But honey,
he was wearing he was like Greenpoint in 03.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was in third grade, but I can imagine.
But you remember those ding-dongs walking around with their
course I do.
skinny dickies.
ding-dongs.
In fact, I am worried that this whole conversation is going to give women who are dating sort of deadbeat boyfriends and bands a false hope.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I'll just
They're
say
not
that.
all
But yeah, I know.
that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not
yeah.
all Mark.
I made it
not
out.
all, not
I made it
ladies,
out.
not all men. You
made
know what
it
I'm
out.
saying? Not
Yeah.
all men.
You joke about being cool, but I was depressed. I mean, that's just really what we're dealing with. So that, to me, that is like the biggest intense need I have for Katie and this feeling that I have to put a finer point on this codependency, which is like, here's some negative things about it, okay?
Yeah, good.
Like,
that was my next thing.
I go to New York for a few days and I have rescue dogs and I have kids and I have a company and I have a lot of people that rely on me. And I should just be in full glee and elation to be free and do whatever I want, make whatever decision I want for food at my whim. And after 36 hours of that, an ache starts to form. And it's really hard to be away from Katie. And I can't exactly tell you why, but I think that these 25 years, all this stuff we have built, how I relate to her, and it doesn't work the way I would like it to be able to. And so I'm not...
What's the it there? You.
Yes.
It doesn't work. Life doesn't work.
Life doesn't work. So I'm not an idiot. I know that I can't have the beautiful codependent thing that I have with Katie and just be able to easily eject out of that and function perfectly on the other side. I want it. I choose it. But it's not free.
We'll be right back. Can I turn it to you and say, how do you feel like you need Mark? And is there, because that's what I want to transition to too, is like, we're painting it's not all rosy, but a really beautiful picture, but there are ways in which you can lose yourself. But,
sure. I think, honestly, I'm like the complete opposite of him, where he saw in me a depth and intelligence that no one else really saw. I'm the youngest of four. I was a cheerleader. I was Miss Maine Teen. I was
Miss Maine Teen.
Yeah,
that feels
that's its
big,
own
though.
But
podcast.
hold on. Runner-up Miss Teen USA, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I was like,
With no training and no nothing. She was this girl from a town of 300 people, a lobster town in Maine.
Wow.
And they're like, we need somebody. And they threw her in. Didn't know what the fuck she was
What
doing.
was your talent?
thank God, USA doesn't do a talent. That's Miss America.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
My talent, I won the swimsuit competition. That was my talent. And I was cute.
yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, she's so cute. And that was kind of my identity until I met Mark. And he looked at me and he was like, no, you're so much more. You're so smart.
That's
and
really...
You're really talented. And you have depth and, you're interesting. And it changed me. And no one saw me like that. And I didn't see myself like that. And, you know, he was the one who first looked at me and was like, you know, I said, after we had our first kid, I was like, I miss being in movies. Like, will you please, like, write something for me? And he was like, write something for yourself. Do it. You have the stories. I did write a movie about a woman who cheats on her husband. If you're gonna make
she did it.
If you're gonna make me,
I didn't sort of mean that.
if you're gonna make me do the work, I'm gonna do the work. You know, but it was that really, you know, no one believed in me like he believed in me, and still to this day believes in me. Like, no one believes in me more than Mark does, and I don't believe in myself as much as Mark does. That is like the scary side of codependency for me, where I'm like, I guess I should probably get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a therapist would be like, you walk into a general therapist room, they'd be like, love, this is my therapist voice, by the way, you know, love is such this wonderful thing where you can join forces with someone and know that you can stand on the precipice of life together and enjoy it. But also, if you have to stand alone, that's okay too.
Yeah.
And that last part is what I'm missing.
Well, this is what I was gonna say is like, I'm really grateful for you two for being so open. It's very instructive. I feel like I'm learning a lot. And we're also talking about this thing, and you're hinting at it, where it's like to become so enmeshed with another person, you can lose. It's like you're both seeing these things in each other that no one else sees, which is electric and beautiful and connective. But then there is a way in which you lose your sense of individuation. I mean, you cease to sort of become an individual. And I guess, what are the ways that you try to, or you do, maintain your sense of self as individuals? Or is that still something you're struggling with?
I have a pretty good little system, I think, you know, which is that I love hiking and I love backpacking, and I mostly do that alone. I'm going to go out and join the herd on the PCT for a couple of days.
That being said, he's invited me 1,000 times. I don't want to go.
By the way,
why he doesn't.
by the way,
sounds like I'd be thirsty.
That is an excellent
He
point.
definitely wanted it to be something we did together.
That is completely sweet. You're like, I'm striking out on my own, manifest destiny.
You know what?
You're like,
I don't need anybody out here.
Backpack and everything.
Katie,
and I don't
Katie, you want to
go.
come? No? Okay, I'll go.
that is so cute and completely undermining your point.
But proving
you tried, yeah.
But proving it
But
at
he
the same
also
time.
has realized he can do it by himself.
Yeah.
And that is growth.
What's the specific thing that you do?
Okay, so what I realized I love is going to dinner and a show by myself. I love sitting at a bar. I love ordering a cocktail.
Oh, you bring that book, too.
I bring a book.
You bring that book.
And I all of a sudden, I'm like Carrie Bradshaw, just eating by herself. And I love going to a show by myself.
Can I also just ever so slightly undermine, which is that
You're like there, but you're quiet.
Yeah,
You're like
yeah.
at a different table.
which is you know, for better or for worse, you always text me or call me during these moments to share it with me.
Oh,
Well, yeah, because I look cute.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste it.
that is so, oh God, I love that. There still is this thread of, and I don't know, maybe we're using the word codependency to your point. Maybe it's not.
Maybe we don't understand.
Is there, maybe. Wait, finish your sentence.
Maybe
What it
we
is.
don't understand. Like, maybe, I don't know.
Are we going to make up a word right now for what we are?
Yeah, like that
was my question.
In the rebranding.
Is there a new word?
I'm going to call it englobulation because it is confusing where I begin and where Katie ends to a certain point. But the good news is with englobulation, it's just a big thing of goo. So you can.
It sounds so gross.
Well, hold on a second. Let me finish.
Okay.
It's going to be great. Then you pull it apart like slime, you know, and you're like, oh, great. So now there's two and we're individual. But the problem is there's a bunch of pink in the blue and there's a bunch of blue in the pink, and you can't really separate them. It's mostly me over there, but I got a bunch of the other stuff
Or
when I
like
try to be on my
mozzarella
own.
in a pizza.
Englobulation. How are you feeling about that word?
I think it's gross.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
If we're talking about branding, it's a little
I don't
tough.
know what the word is, but
Sure.
I have always said this thing, and it's just the way I see couples.
Yeah.
And I think couples are like trees that grow in a forest, right? And sometimes trees go completely parallel and they're super healthy and it's amazing. Sometimes trees grow together and they wind around each other and they help bring each other to the sun, or one strangles the other one, right? And then sometimes two trees grow in two separate directions and fall over. Like that is how I look at it.
So who are we?
we think I'm growing to the sun. I think we've wound around each other and we bring each other to the sun.
Is there any strangulation?
No. I don't feel it. Do you? I think I probably strangled you in the beginning.
Yeah, you strangled me.
With like, what are we going to do?
No. I think that I personally feel like there is some strangulation inherent in being that intimate and that close. We've also chosen it. I mean, we're just kind of like, using words at this point, but I think
that's what speaking is.
Yeah, let me rephrase. I think we're getting into semantics a little bit with this, but to me, to be so inherently enmeshed like this, to compromise so much to make this relationship work for not only you and me, for the kids and everything like that, that involves a couple of your limbs getting a little choked off.
Sure. But for the greater good. So I guess
it's for the greater good.
It feels like you're still growing to the sun, I guess.
It's necessary strangulation. Yeah. But I think we would be dishonest to say that, like, there aren't moments where, at least I can say this, and maybe you disagree, where, every now and then I question, like, wow, in order to be in this family, in this marriage, everything that I do, this is quite a bit of compromise. Yeah. Am I moving too far from some core tenets of myself? Should I be careful to protect those things?
I look
questioning
at
that.
This is where we're different. Yeah. Because I look at it and I'm like, I am a way better version of myself than I could have ever predicted. Like I had, I think, much lower expectations of who I was going to become. But I think, like, Mark, might have had much higher expectations is what it sounds like. Yeah. But I had sort of had an idea of who I was and who I was told and I was. And I think I had a different idea of what it was all going to look like, what marriage was going to look like and family and parenting and career. And I sort of surpassed those things in a way that surprised me and excites me and I'm very proud of. But I very rarely ever say, oh, gosh, have I lost who I am?
You're like, those branches have died, but you're not worried about it, is what you're saying.
No, I mean, because I like the tree that's... Yeah. It's like bonsai.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I like it.
You got to make little trims to make a beautiful tree.
It is interesting because we're far in the metaphor now, but the thing I want to zoom out and say is I am seeing this communication in practice where actually the thing you said is it's pretty heavy. Yeah. It's like for the good of the family, there's lots of compromises and sacrifices both of you have had to make.
Yep.
I said at some point that it's very instructive to me hearing you two speak. I am currently dating. I'm looking, a lot of my brain is consumed with just the question of how am I going to find this person? And when I hear you guys talk, it's like you so found the person. And then when you do that, all of these other questions and fears.
It's only the beginning of the questions. Yeah. I know.
I guess one of my final questions to you is like, so why is it worth it? If all of these other fears come up, right, when you find the one, why? What do I have to look forward to?
Well, it's 100% worth it. For me, the reason it's worth it is because I constantly feel like my brain is ping-ponging around space looking for meaning about why I'm here. And when you have someone that you deeply love and deeply understands you and loves you, it's pretty much the only centering force that makes life truly meaningful in the quotidian daily living. And here's what I would say as you're on like the hunt, right? I can only speak from my own experience. Please. And the experience I have is that Katie opened the back door of that car, and there was something about the way she was, the way she smelled, the way she looked. It was just, that was it right there. And then everything else was a decision and work. Everything else from there. And so, I love this old adage of like, there are no really right or wrong decisions. There's a decision and then you make it right. Well, while that isn't a perfect one-to-one analogy for relationships, everything after that big bang that happened with us, I shouldn't have said bang. That really sounds like something else.
By the way, did not happen that night.
Right away.
Just so you know.
It happened the next night.
She's like 48 hours. You go, wait.
Make him work for it.
Everything beyond that initial spark, I should say, really has been a growing together, a concerted effort of like making that stuff work and making it the right decision.
And I will say it is 100% worth it because, like I was saying earlier, to be seen in a way you didn't know was possible and to unlock something in you because of the way this person sees you is what a gift. To see me better than I saw myself. And it's so centering having someone who just loves you. Like it is just your touchstone. You just come back to it and you know everything's going to be okay. It's your fence in the storm that, as cows are flying by you, you have the post that like holds
Cows.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
The most definitive way I could say it, this is going to sound kind of stupid, but we were on the subway last night coming home from a Magic Hour screening, and it was a little bit delayed, and we were a little tired, and just that moment where you just kind of want to get in bed, and
a huge dude farted.
Yeah,
and it was
bad.
Hey, welcome to New York.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad. Wow. That sounds really bad.
But for some reason, and we were kind of like crowded on the subway together, so we were like experiencing that like nice little intimacy we have of like having our arms around each other. And I was talking about how excited I was to get back into bed because when we go to sleep, I like to put the top of my foot underneath the bottom of Katie's foot, and it's very comforting to me, and she doesn't like it, and I end up like chasing her foot all around the bed.
I hate it so
I know
much.
she hates it, but you
I
don't.
can see it. The foot.
Yes, you don't hate it because you would be very sad if that foot wasn't chasing you around the bed.
So much.
And we just, in the middle of that huge man fart delayed on the subway, we're just fucking cracking up in our
Not his
own
feet chasing
little
air.
shared story that only 25 years of being together can create. That little fiefdom of our love, that is everything to me. And I don't know how to get that anywhere else.
Wow, I think we have to end it there. Katie, Mark, thank you so much for this conversation.
This
It
was
was
lovely.
truly a blast. The Modern Love team is Davis Land, Elisa Gutierrez, Lynn Levy, Reva Goldberg, and Sarah Curtis. This episode was produced by Sarah Curtis. It was edited by Lynn Levy. Our mix engineer was Daniel Ramirez. Original music in this episode by Rowan Nemisto, Marion Lozano, and Dan Powell. Dan also composed our theme music. The Modern Love column is edited by Daniel Jones, and Mia Lee is the editor of Modern Love Projects. Special thanks to Stella Bugby. If you'd like to submit an essay or a tiny love story to the New York Times, we've got those instructions in our show notes. I'm Anna Martin. Thanks for listening.